Do you know that feeling when you lose yourself?
When your sense of time seems to collapse into the present moment. When all the mistakes from the past, all the worries from the future just disappear. Have you ever felt this way? Have you dared to go that deep?
Now, this feeling is called the flow state. You might have heard of it as being in the zone, a state of mind where we voluntarily push our mind and body to its limits. That moment when everything clicks and amazing things happen. As you can see, the flow state is praised as being this magical state of mind where everything clicks and you unlock hidden abilities. As you expect, achieving a flow state is not as flashy as it is portrayed in film. And still, I cannot help but wonder, how can I achieve it? How can I get into a flow state?
Let me start by saying that the flow state has nothing magical about it. Psychologists have been studying this phenomenon for the past 60 years, the leading authority being Dr. Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi.
Mihály Csikszentmihalyi.
Yep, this guy.
He is one of the pioneers of the study of happiness, and he became very curious when he heard artists describing the feeling of losing themselves while working on their craft. He then theorized that we are the happiest when we take control and seek to live a better life. That by introducing flow, we are, in a way, enhancing how much happiness we can experience. Flow can happen while doing all kinds of tasks, and it often reveals itself when we are deeply challenged and we are confident in our ability to succeed. It's often a gradual build-up towards flow, with many different states of mind in between. As you sink into flow, you lose the ability to care about yourself, and you tap into this rewarding experience of being fully involved in the moment. You literally cannot spare brain power more than to focus on the task in hand. This is because our brain has a limit to the amount of information it can process and bring to our attention. Through the million of bytes per second that arrive through our five senses, we can only experience about 126 bytes of information at once. While in a flow state, all 126 bytes are being used to focus on the task in hand. So any physical needs or personal problems can simply fade away. As you expect, this is a very delicate state, like a bubble. It can just pop if something disturbs it. And I feel that's why I really never experienced flow as mentioned earlier in the video. There's always something that pulls me back to the surface. A distraction, a notification, the urge to check something online. It sometimes feels that I cannot focus for very long. So if I really want to experience flow, something has to change. So, for me to reach flow, I need to find a good challenge so that I can push my current skills to the limit. Because I've been doing videos for a long time, I consider video editing as my highest skill, so the video you're watching right now is actually the product of this challenge. Hopefully you already noticed that this video has a little bit more quality than I usually do. I'm trying different things, and that's also part of the challenge. Hopefully it's turning out okay. And because I'm the judge of the quality of this video, I already have a way to determine how good my performance is, so I have immediate feedback. As I mentioned before, the greatest enemy, at least for me, is the distractions, so I put my phone on airplane mode, and because I still need to go online to get some sound effects and stock footage, I limited my access to social media and YouTube on my desktop where I work. I guess what's left to do is just start editing this thing. Wish me luck. As always, the beginning is always the hardest. It's too overwhelming sometimes, especially when I'm being challenged this much. But I pushed through and I started getting into a rhythm, and all of a sudden it clicked. Okay, I got a little bit carried away while editing, and I feel like a little bit of context will help. This is from one of my favorite animes, Kuroko no Basket, where they get into the zone and they unlock these powers, and I really wanted to recreate this effect. Anyways, back to the video.
Now, I would say that I never really achieved flow state while editing the video, but I was definitely closer depending on the type of task I was doing. If I felt like the video needed animation or a montage, I'd feel like I would be closer to this state. While I was using stock footage, for example, because the challenge is a little bit lower, I felt like I was a little bit more bored. Assuming that I always want to be closer to a flow state, maybe I can improve my skills on certain areas so that I'm more challenged by them. Maybe I can rewrite the script so that the areas I use stock footage are more visual and I can use animations, or just get better at using stock footage and get more challenge out of these moments. I really wanted to experience flow for this video, but I guess it's something I cannot force. I guess if I can keep pushing myself to create something challenging and improve my skills, and most of all eliminate distractions, flow will eventually happen. So now that I understand the mechanisms of flow, I'm on the quest to experience it, to be able to say yes to the question.
Do you know that feeling when you lose yourself?